So when does spring training start? Not soon enough. Hi, I'm Weston. I love talking about the Rangers. I'm here to talk about Game 45 of the regular season where the Rangers lose 2-1 to the Los Angeles Kings in Jonathan Quick's return to LA. Awful. Awful. It's incredible. I'll give them credit. It was a different type of miserable, so at least there's that. Change of pace. During this little streak where the Rangers have looked awful, it's been consistent, you know? Hey, defense looks terrible. They're giving up way too great of chances. And the goaltenders, they're not making a ton of saves. Granted, again, I've been very forgiving on the goaltenders. Really, it's been the defense. I've been pretty forgiving on the goalies, and I've been straight up positive about the offense. Because, you know, getting 40 shots, they're just getting goalie. Hey, at least tonight, 2 of the 3 things worked really well. Defense looked fine, in my opinion. Defense was fine. I've seen people getting mad at the defense online. I didn't think the Kings particularly threatened that much. And you can say, oh, but shots started like 13-2. And I would say, yeah, they definitely did. It's not the defense's fault. Like, yeah, 13 shots to 2 sounds really, really bad. That was 13 shots in like the first 25, 30 minutes of the game. It wasn't bad. I think shots finished like 26-24 in favor of LA. And I didn't think the defense gave up too many high-danger chances. There were a couple, but it wasn't bad. It was one of the better defensive performances of the month. Maybe that's a bad thing. Maybe that's pathetic. I don't know. I thought they were fine. They were fine. Quick was good. Quick was fine. The offense in the first period, that might have been the most gutless performance I've watched from the offense all year long. They couldn't do anything. They looked helpless. That's the first night of a back-to-back. And it's not even 24 hours in between. You played at 10:30 last night Eastern. You're going to play at 8:30 tonight. You mean to tell me that team was the rested part of the first half of a back-to-back with less than 24 hours in between? Are you joking? They looked awful. 2 shots in the first period? I think it took them 7 or 8 minutes into the second to get a shot? They looked horrific. They look lost as a unit. I mean, I've been able to kind of excuse the games where they'll get 30 shots, but only pot 1 or 2 because the goalie just went insane sicko mode on the other team. That wasn't even that. I'm not trying to, crap on Dave Riddick. What save did he make that made you go, robbed him? I can think of a bunch for Binnington. I can think of some for Charlie Lindgren. I can think of them for the other teams that we faced. What crazy 10-bell save did Rittich have to make last night? They look lost. And, the positive that I can give you, because of injury to Hedl and to Kakko, and I'm not happy that they have been injured and missed time, because you at least now have Kakko back. Hedl looks like he's trending in the right direction. Hopefully you don't LTIR him. The positive is you've been able to accumulate about $4.5 million in cap space that you could use at the deadline. So someone between, or multiple players, you'll have somewhere between $5 to $7 or $8 million to play with, because I'm assuming you can get some retention from a team. And I think you got to go get a forward. And I think it's also important that you get a defenseman. Obviously, the defense I'm saying looked pretty good last night, but you've got to have a defenseman to just kind of make some of the guys, and I know I've talked about this in the podcast with Evan, I know that it's not going to automatically frighten people, and a guy like Adam Fox is not going to be intimidated by some trade deadline, third pair, 7th or 8th defenseman. You've got to make it seem like people could be held accountable right now. And I have been very happy with the fact that Peter Laviolette has not jumbled the lines. You're getting there. We're getting to that point. Like, the defensive pairs, about the only thing you can mess around with is, like, the bottom two. Because we've seen how awful Adam Fox is without Ryan Lingrid. But even that, you might have to, for a game, just mess around. Try to get something out of them. Because it's been, like... I think they're 4-7-1 in the last 12. They look bad. And now you're going to go for the second night of a back-to-back, taking on the Anaheim Ducks at 8:30 tonight. I've said it a bunch, and I'm just yelling into the void. You've got to kill them. You've got to beat the ever-loving tar out of them. Anaheim is a bottom 5 team in the league, and you desperately need to get your ship right. Go into Anaheim. I don't care that it's the second night of a back-to-back. You're going to have your starting goalie in net. Shesterkin's going to be there. You've got to beat him into the dirt. And you can't just grind him into the... You can't beat him 5-3. This has got to be like a 5-1 shut. This has got to be a actual slaughter. And I'm not trying to be mean to Anaheim fans. You've got to make them want to leave in the second period. Like, it's got to be that kind of a just ragdoll by the Rangers to get any kind of reaction out of the fan base. It's at 8:30 tonight. I'll be here afterwards to talk about it. But as for right now, that's all I have to say. So if you enjoyed the video, please consider to like and subscribe. Thank you all so very much for watching. Hope you all have an absolutely fantastic day, and as always, go Rangers.